Welcome to this week's podcast. Today I'm joined by Lou. Say hello, Lou.
Hi.
So first things first, I think we've got to discuss the game this weekend, haven't we?
Yeah.
What are your views on it?
Well, obviously gutted that we lost. Think it was a good game. I think obviously the conditions didn't help, but then it was the same for both teams. So can't really use that as an excuse. I just think at the end of the day, they took their chances and they created more opportunities than we did. And when that happens, you score goals and you win. It's as simple as that, really.
Yeah. From the sidelines, obviously, it looks a bit different to us. Like we saw quite an even game, to be honest. It could have quite easily gone either way. Like you say, they took their chances. They won the game.
Yeah.
So a bit gutting, really, but it is what it is.
It is disappointing, but you've got to remember, we are a young team. A lot of the girls, that probably one of their first finals that they've been in. And it's a really good learning experience for the younger players, and it's something that we can take into next season. Get the confidence from the good cup run and just see where it takes us next year.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoyed it. It was a good experience for me because it's my first season as a coach, so I enjoyed the experience there.
Yeah, that's good.
So let's talk about football when it started for you. We obviously went to the same school when we were younger. I'm not sure if you remember or not.
Yeah, Ripon side.
Yeah. So what I remember is when the girls and the boys used to play football, it was together, but they only had a boys team when it came to. So how did it start for you, football-wise? Did you join a team anywhere, or?
Well, from being little, really, from before school, playing with my dad. He was massive into football, hence he didn't have a son, so then I got sort of forced into it, and just an early love of the game, really. And all through primary school, I used to play on the tarmac with the lads and join the boys team, and I used to train with boys Panthers, and then girls football sort of became a thing around age 11. And they had a Panthers girls team then, but then that sort of fizzled out. I played for Ripon Grammar. And then when I left Grammar, that was sort of the end of it for me until Ripon City Ladies. Yeah. There wasn't really a team from sort of end of secondary school to into adulthood. There wasn't that transition for me, like with Tegan and the likes of Kate and Izzy. They've got that transition into adult football. That there wasn't a local team for me, so it just sort of stopped until Ripon City Ladies became a team.
Yeah, it's definitely changed in a very short time, really, because I believe are you 29, same age as me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
don't tell everyone.
In that time between, let's say, what was it, 11 and when did you start Ripon?
Now you're asking. 25?
25.
So essentially 25. So it was between the sort of age of 17 and 25 I didn't play.
Yeah.
It's quite a long time if you think about it.
It's quite a long time, yeah. So in terms of your Ripon career, how's that been going for you from start to present?
Pretty good, I think. I've been a constant in the team from when I joined. I've always played in the first team, which is nice. Usually a starter. Bagged a few goals along the way. I think I've developed a lot as a player, and I think my experience helps the team.
Yeah.
Few dips here and there, but that's I'm getting a bit older. Obviously, confidence levels differ as well, season to season. But I think when I'm on form and I'm playing well and my confidence is high, I think I've got a lot to bring to the team.
Yeah, definitely. So what I want to ask is, obviously, I think everyone's got the favourite male footballer. Mine is probably Ronaldo right now. You'll probably agree, I believe.
Yeah, well, right now, yeah, I'd say Ronaldo. Historically, my player's always been David Beckham.
Yes,
always has been. He's just amazing. Hence the number 7 shirt.
Yeah. So what I want to ask you is, do you have a favourite women's footballer?
Um, to be honest, unfortunately, women's football isn't something that I've actually managed to see a great deal of. To be honest, male football over the past 7 years, it's not really something that I've had chance to really keep up with. I've been, long gone the days that I could just go to the pub on a Saturday afternoon and watch the footy. And I mean, it's my life's changed quite a bit. So football's sort of taken a bit of a back seat. So to be fair, women's football, it's not really something I get a chance to watch, really. I hear great things about it on the news, and obviously I try and keep my hand in where I can, but my life's a bit different to other girls on the team. I've got a bit more responsibility, and I'm an older player, so
you're an experienced striker.
As you've mentioned, I'm very experienced, let's say. So, but to be honest, it's fantastic. It's amazing to see how women's football has developed to where it's at now. The training and the publicity that women's football's getting, I think it's amazing. It was never a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
In secondary school, I had to fight for Ripon Grammar to have a girls' team, and we had to organise our own training sessions, and it just wasn't a thing. It was something that we really had to fight for. So to see where it's at, up and down the country today, it's amazing. So nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly the England women's team as well, when they got to, I believe it was a semi-final in the World Cup a few years back, and all of a sudden everyone was just in love with women's football. And
it's such, I think people get such a shock as well with women's football. It's such a high standard. I know that people have come down to Mallory Park to see us play, and they're actually quite shocked at how good a standard our football is.
Yeah.
And not that it should be surprising that women are good at football, but sometimes to some people it still is. But it's nice to see. It's nice to see how many teams are in our local leagues as well. It's not just at national level and things like that. It's like your grassroots football. It's really coming through at the minute. It's good to see.
Yeah, there seemed to be a big rush for a women's team now. And I know Horsforth, where I went to university, they're looking for a women's team now. So it seems to be the in thing where everyone seems to want a women's team. Like Manchester United, they've got a women's team now. Took them long enough, but they got there.
Well, yeah, I think, to be honest, the big teams like your Man City, your Liverpool, your Man United, there's no reason for them not to have women's football. If they've got a male team, they should have a female team.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll move on to next season now. What are you hoping to get from next season?
Well, obviously, I think we're having to stay in the league that we're in, just to get a really good uninterrupted run out in the league. Really, just play all our local teams. Hopefully, keep as many players as we can. Obviously, players such as Chloe. Obviously, I know that Chloe's looking for higher things. We've got Faith possibly returning to Hull, so just try and retain as much of our quality players as possible, and just have a really good run. Maybe another good cup run in there somewhere.
Yeah,
and hopefully finish top of the league would be nice.
Yeah, it's been a bit disappointing, really, with 2 seasons disrupted by this amazing pandemic that we're in. So it'd be nice to get out of that and actually have a nice, decent full season.
It will as well, and it'll, because we've been sort of stop and start. 1 minute we're training, the next we're not. 1 minute we've got games, the next we're not. Just to have week in, week out matches, it'll just be nice just to get back to a bit of normality.
Yeah. So before we end, I've got to ask, because it's the big thing at the moment, the Euros, who's your favourite to win?
Well, I've got Portugal in my sweepstakes, so I kind of want them to win.
Well,
but
good result
obviously
from tonight.
England. Yeah, obviously England would be nice. I'm not going to get my hopes up too much.
Yeah.
But to be honest, your France, your Portugal, your Spain, Germany, England, there's that many amazing teams. Anything could happen. It's the Euros, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd definitely say Italy are with a shout. Not many people are mentioning them, but
yeah,
they could be there.
Yeah, they're a top team, aren't they? To be fair, there's obviously a few lower level teams that you'd say, but you've sort of got a top 6 or 7, haven't you? That any one of them could win it. But they've all got the squad and the players, so it just depends who shows up, really.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. Right, well, thank you very much for that, Lou. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
Great to have you
I'll
on.
see you at training tomorrow.
Yeah, see you soon.
Thanks, mate. See you later.
Cheers, see ya. Don't forget to click right down there to subscribe, and some more videos on the screen now for you to click. Podcast, the other thing, the match days. See you next time.